Run Derby is right around the corner, but one local company has been helping Major League players hit the ball out of the park since the early 2000s. Ridgway, Illinois has fewer than 1,000 people, but its reach goes far beyond the tri-state. Nick Ruffalo shares how a homegrown bat-making business has attracted some big-time customers.
These are the bats designed for the Cubs' Kyle Schwarber and the Phillies' Rhys Hoskins to use in the 2018 Home Run Derby. Getting to see them up close is cool enough in itself, but these bad boys are made right here in the tri-state. Dinger Bats, situated in the small town of Ridgway, Illinois, is a hometown business that's reached new heights.
We could do 15 a day, we could do 15 an hour, now we're doing about 40 an hour. So it's progressed that far.
It all started when Randy's son Kyle was a bullpen catcher in the minor leagues.
There were only a few guys in it, Rawlings, Louisville, some big companies, and they would always cater to the big league guys. So as that trickle-down effect went, the best wood went to the big league guys, and AAA, then AA, and then, the lower level. I just asked one of the guys one day, I said, hey, if I made some bats, would you try them out? And he said, yeah, absolutely. I called my dad the next day, said, what do you think about it? Of course, it took him about a month to really let it resonate with him, and finally he called me up and said, I ordered a lathe that'll be here next week.
And it also helped that he knew Owensboro native and Major League player Brad Wilkerson, who took the Dinger name and made it stick with both the Expos and the newly created Nationals.
Once we get into it, I reach out to Brad, get him some samples. He really likes them, so I worked with him a couple years. In fact, the last home run by an Expo was by Brad Wilkerson, was with a Dinger bat, and then the following season they became the Nationals. First hit of the year was a line drive over shortstop, and I believe it was a broken bat line drive, but it was still the first Nationals hit.
So there are a couple Dinger bats that have seen the Hall of Fame, including Schwarber's magical run from torn ACL to a couple rehab at bats to the World Series, where he hit over 400 to help the Cubs win their first championship since 1908.
Ultimately, we get an order for a dozen. We have to overnight them. We get them out there, deliver them to him. He has 1 or 2 games in the AFL, maybe 4 total at-bats, and then they throw him on a private jet to Cleveland, and the rest is history.
And even when things get a little hectic, they still always try to deliver on their promise of good service, which is why Schwarber, Hoskins, and dozens of other professional baseball players choose to go with the bat company from Ridgway, Illinois. And when they deliver the bats to their players in the Home Run Derby, the business can see Dinger bats hit dingers all night long. Nick Ruffalo, 44 Sports.